Hi, I'm Dr. Bertice Berry, and I need to tell you a story. Although my mind is buzzing with probably hundreds of stories, so many stories. I was not feeling well and had to travel, so I took some rest and took a later flight. I got in, I rested, and I'm so glad I came. But now I'm stuck on this side because there's so much snow where I'm going, which is home to Savannah. It's crazy, and as my mother would say, just live long enough, you're going to see some things. I'm so glad I came for so many reasons, and one of them is that the people that I met, the driver who invited me to sit in the front seat, that was a move that just made the ride feel not like a driver and a passenger. It felt like two sisters riding along the road laughing at their lives and their connections. It was a powerful, powerful connection to find this beautiful, good person, Lisa, who just lit up my life. And just, I went from really like barely moving and coughing and hacking and got in the car. And suddenly I was like, wait a minute, what? What's going on? The coughing was asthma. I didn't have anything to pass on to her. Anyway, so I met these beautiful students who just gave me so much hope for the world. It's a private boarding school, and these young folks, one young woman just cried and cried. And I said, are you okay? She said, yeah. And she cried some more, and I said, you're feeling seen? And she said, yes. And it was just so beautiful. One young man, his grandfather is taking the long walk home, and his mother is having a hard time, and he asked if I would record a message for his mother in this time of her sorrow and his sorrow. I was like, what in the world? Someone said to me, at 17, it's difficult to begin to think about the legacy that you're leaving. And yet, I know I'm leaving a legacy every day. And now it helps me reframe the way I live my life. Ooh. The other story I want to tell is that someone came up to me recently with a little bit of a smirk on their face and said, I hear they're getting rid of all the diversity stuff. What are you going to do now? I said, I'm a sociologist. I know diversity backwards and forwards because I've been doing that work for 35 years. I'm not one of these people who jumped on the fence and the bandwagon after Ahmaud Arbery and George Floyd. I'm not somebody who just, I will be honest with you, I call it two folks with an MBA between them who started some firms and businesses and threw some people out in the street and got millions of dollars in government funds and grants to talk about diversity and had no idea what they were talking about. Some of this stuff needs to go away. What I'm talking about is belonging through diversity. You can't have belonging if you don't have some diversity. As my mother would say, inbreeding does not give birth to genius. So if all you do is hang out with your clique, your club, your group, and look for what's bad in everybody else while you other the other and create the great divide, you're not going to get very far. Diversity is this very, very powerful tool with which we use to not only see the world, but to see ourselves more clearly. You know, if you've been listening to these stories, that you hear your stories better by listening to mine. You hear the differences, the nuances, the things about your story. I posted a story and included Kathy and someone else and some other folks, Joanne Jones. And Kathy said she got this right, but what she didn't get right was all the connections. That's not my story. That's her story. And in telling our own stories and allowing them to connect to the stories of others, the world gets closer. There will never not be work for me. There will never not be work for you. We keep doing this zero-sum thing like there's just never going to be enough. When the folks are in the bakery laughing at the fact that we're fighting over crumbs. People, the world is a big old place. And when good people find good people, we illuminate a pathway for others to become better. Stop telling folks about what somebody gonna do because somebody stood up and said the right thing. Keep echoing the right thing Why do you put a microphone to what you say is wrong? Maybe you trying to create drama so you can have something to star in. If we continue to echo the good, echo the joy, echo the hope, everybody gets to play their part. I love you. I know that was 62 stories, but I done told you, you are not a book. You are a library. I love you.